Coming up on Valley News Live at 10, we take a look at how smoking is the leading cause for deadly fires. Plus, a look at how much money the state of North Dakota has to spend on education. And one school is rallying together to support one man's battle with cancer. Valley News Live at 10 starts now.
This is Valley News Live at 10.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. Our storm team continues to track possible severe storms pushing into the Red River Valley. Chief Meteorologist Hutch Johnson is here now with an update. Hutch, how you doing?
Good, Michelle. How are you? And thank you so much. Good evening, everyone. As we close out the work week, things are changing right now. And we declared today a first alert weather day. Tomorrow is one as well. Let's get right to the latest. We've had thunder and lightning in the skies in and around the FM area, but everything stayed pretty much to the north of us. Here's a look at that radar. And right now, most of the activity stretching from Lake in the Woods right down into the Bemidji area where it's pushing in towards you. Clearwater County, a lot of lightning into portions of Becker County for some storms firing up in and around Lakes Country and the DL area. And also we have some in and around Grand Forks. Let's get down to the strongest of the storms right now is this guy right here where you see the deep red colors from time to time. This is about 7.5 miles south of Bagley as the crow flies. This is moving off to the east at about 25 miles per hour. And that storm, which at times could produce maybe nickel-sized hail or so at the present time, is moving towards Bemidji by 10:43. Again, these pulse up, look like they might produce some sizable hail, then they pulse down. So we haven't heard many reports of anything too significant hail-wise tonight. Crookston, you've had a wet day, and that extends all the way back into the Red River Valley here. Reynolds up to Grand Forks, where we're getting some soaking showers, drifting slowly to the east at around 20 miles per hour. Here's the cool pool of air behind the cold front. Boo! That's chilly. Those are 40s up there, folks, as cooler air is heading our way. Tomorrow, a severe weather risk for the Southern Valley and a lot of water for a lot. I'll have hour-by-hour details here, Nishay, in just a few moments.
All right. Thank you so much, Hutch. The Minnesota State Fire Marshal reports smoking is the leading cause of fatal fires in the state. Valley News Team's Alex Larson has more on how one victim of a smoking fire was impacted and how the Moorhead Fire Department is providing tips on how to prevent these types of incidents.
They're alive, that's what matters.
On Wednesday afternoon, Rick Stevens' home was set on fire by a cigarette he had discarded out the back window.
I was sleeping in the back bedroom and I smelled smoke that woke me up. And it kept getting worse and worse, so I looked out the window and I looked down, and that's when I seen the flames coming up.
The fire began underneath the trailer. His neighbors quickly jumped into action to help put out the fire before firefighters arrived.
We did talk to the fire marshal after the fire, and he's the one that told us that it's more than likely going to be a total loss, just because it took out all the electrical, all the plumbing underneath the trailer.
Rick and his brother, along with their dogs, all made it out safe.
They did save one of the dogs through a window, actually, that was trapped in the house. They broke out a window and took one of the dogs out the window.
When it does happen, it can certainly be a big event for those individuals.
To prevent fires like this, the Moorhead Fire Department says to discard cigarettes properly.
Potting soil is very flammable, along with anything that's plastic. So we want it in an approved container, and when they are extinguishing a cigarette butt, that they're putting it out completely. We recommend that they use water to put out those cigarettes.
Moorhead Fire says it's best to have working smoke alarms inside your home to alert people in the home should a fire occur. Alex Larson, Valley News Live.
A GoFundMe has been set up to help Rick find a new home. A link will be on our website at valleynewslive.com if you would like to donate. Photographers, brides, and grooms are speaking out tonight after a Bismarck-based photography studio dropped the bombshell that they are closing their doors. Glosser Images sent an email to clients saying they won't be issuing refunds, leaving one couple out of $4,000 and just 48 hours to find a new photographer before their wedding.
You know, most people that are getting married are trying to start a life and buy a house and, get their life moving. Something like this, when you've sacrificed enough to pay that to capture your special day, and for it to just with one email be taken is frustrating.
Now, if this has happened to you, you're encouraged to file a consumer report with the North Dakota Attorney General's office. You can find that link on our website. Just click on this story. And if you have a tip that you want us to investigate, call or text our whistleblower hotline. That number is 701-369-3187. Another dangerous TikTok trend is circulating in the U.S. This time it's impacting car owners. Users are calling it the lug nut challenge. Some people are loosening or removing the lugs from car tires in hopes of gaining likes on the social platform. TikTok users have targeted several cars in Massachusetts so far. Valley News Live has reached out to local law enforcement in Fargo and West Fargo. WFPD says they are looking into whether or not residents in the area have been impacted by the challenge. We will continue to follow this story as it develops. Minnesota state prosecutors are asking the courts to consider a longer sentence for a former Brooklyn Center police officer. If Kim Potter is convicted of the most serious charge of first-degree manslaughter, she could face between 6 to 8.5 years in prison. If the judge agrees with the state's request for a stronger sentence, she could receive up to 15 years. Potter is accused of shooting and killing Dante Wright during a traffic stop back in April. Potter is scheduled to stand trial on November 30th. North Dakota schools have nearly $400 million left to spend from COVID relief. Just like with other COVID money, schools don't really know what the rules are for spending it, so they've been holding back to learn more, but deadlines are looming. Less than $32 million of it has been requested by schools. More than 92% of the money remains. Part of the reason is because the money is only for refunds, so schools have to spend the money first before they can get it back.
Some of the rules and guidance that originally was communicated to states, and then states conversely subsequently communicated to our local school districts, have changed. We're doing our best to communicate those with our school districts.
The Department of Public Instruction says big ticket items include buying curriculum and funding summer school. Over the past year, the North Dakota National Guard responded to COVID-19, flooding, and wildfires. Now they're responding again to our nation's southern borders. About 125 members are leaving their homes and heading south. They had only 3 months to prepare for their latest mission with U.S. Customs and Border Patrol in the southwestern United States. They plan to remain at the border for 1 year. Also, this unit makes up part of the 540 soldiers on deployment. The Fargo-Davies football community is surrounding one of their own. Jeff McKinnon is recovering from his battle with a rare form of blood cancer, and the football community is helping to offer support for the family. Valley News Team's Aaron Walling has more.
It's a chance we all may know someone who has been impacted by cancer. And at Fargo-Davies High School, the football community is surrounding one of their own who's battling multiple myeloma.
Our motto along for this fundraiser has been Eagles supporting Eagles. Together, the nest is stronger. We have fundraising buckets, and that's something that we put on our fundraising buckets just because it means a lot to us.
Myeloma is a cancer that attacks the plasma cells. And Jeff McKinnon is facing another round of the disease after the cancer returned. In September, McKinnon received his second stem cell transplant and is still in Rochester recovering. The McKinnon family said in a statement, "Honestly, the way this community steps up and supports people in need is incredibly heartwarming. We are speechless by everyone's generosity."
Yeah, it's been really heartwarming to see the response.
At Fargo-Davies, hashtag 12 Strong bands were being sold to help raise support for the family. McKinnon has strong roots in the sport, played for NDSU, and coached many athletes with FM Athletics.
All of these boys in our program look out for one another, and the Davies community as a whole does this.
And the football world is showing him support back. In Fargo, Aaron Walling, Valley News Live.
For more information on how to donate to the McKinnon family, visit our website at valleynewslive.com and click on this story. Still ahead tonight, a look at high school football across the region. Our sports team will have those highlights later in the show.
And we have some soggy football fields across northwest Minnesota as the thunderstorms continue there from Lakes Country north towards Lake of the Woods. More storms are in your forecast and a lot of wet as well through the weekend. Your hour-by-hour details are coming up next. A first alert weather day has been declared for your Saturday.